Greetings petrolheads, welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2015, and today we got a Mayen M6 finally in our garage that we're about to restore. And yeah, I bought all the exterior parts in advance, you know, tune parts wherever available, and you know, rims and all the usual good stuff. So this is going to be the first time I think I've restored an M6 on video. That's why I was looking for it specifically in the auction center, and it was actually the second car that showed up, so it was pretty nice that the game for once cooperated with me on that. Gave me what I wanted. It also only cost like 16,300 after an initial bidding price of 9,800, so that's a rare thing to happen. I like that custom front bumper. And under the bonnet we have a dual overhead cam turbocharged inline-4. On the front end we have McPherson struts. It is front wheel drive too. And on the rear end we have multi-link suspension. Okay, so that's the parts I'm about to buy. First things first though, I'm gonna take this out, and then the turbo, and that, the starter, and the exhaust manifold, so I can then work underneath the car right away once I've bought the parts. And while we're here, let's also take out the easy parts already that you can take out without doing too much to the engine. So it does not have ABS, does it? Oh yes, it does. Down here. Alrighty, I think it is direct injected. Yes, it is direct injected. So now we can go ahead and buy all the parts. We need lower suspension arms. It's got discs all around, fronts are ventilated, rears aren't. Dual overhead cam we said. Yes. Then 1, 2, 3. Then a crankshaft. No double wishbones, no drive shaft. This one I think, and then that. Front drive axle C. Front drive shaft. Front exhaust section. This one I think. The cross member is just a regular one, isn't it? Yep. Front sway bar, 2 of these, 1 of these, and that. And then a 4 gearbox. An I-level A. No wires. There we go. Got the lower suspension arms. Then out the tie rod, 4 pistons. Power steering pump. A rear muffler. 2 rear shock absorbers. and then 10 rubber bushings and 2 small ones. Serpentine belt A and B. A timing belt, then the timing belt cover, and then a turbocharger, a water pump, 2 of these and 2 of these, and we should be fine. So now we're gonna lift it up. I've prepared something here. I've put the oil drain next to the lifter already, instead of leaving it where it usually is. So now we're gonna put this thing away, somewhere like here. And work on the suspension. Before I forget mentioning it, I will be streaming on Saturday this week, not on Friday, because I have to work on Friday. The study is an absolute chaos, and you know, it's a long story short. I can't even visit half of the subjects that I would have liked to visit, and since the complications don't seem to end, like, I think it's best that I realize, you know what, I'd rather stop as soon as possible and try doing something else before I take like 8 years instead of 4 for the freaking study. Also, it made me realize something. The place where I'm working, if you work full time, it pays you about $1,500 per month, and that's quite solid for an uneducated work here in Austria. And 1,500 euros times 14 per year, you know, for 14 times, because you get 1 extra wage in summer and 1 before Christmas. So 1,500 times 14 is 21,000 euros, and that times 4 already is 84,000 euros. 84,000 euros that I would not have if I did the study instead. That is quite a lot of money if you think of it that way. You know, in 4 years, 84,000 euros goes a long way. I could reasonably expect to save up enough money to buy a great used car that I like and afford it. I can easily afford the apartment that I'm renting. I can easily, you know, fix my car myself and do a little bit of changes and do some other hobbies, or, you know, go on a vacation. With all those things I can't do if I do the study now. So, you know, it's probably better to just say no to the study given the circumstances and say, okay, I'm gonna be working full time and do YouTube alongside of it, and that is exactly what I'm gonna do now. Because I don't wanna quit doing YouTube. It's, even if you just consider it a hobby, even then it's nice. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, I think, objectively speaking. And you know, if this hobby turns out to allow me to make money from it, and if at some point I make money, I make more money with this than with the other job, then I might consider stopping the other job and you know, just focus on doing YouTube, if that day ever arrives. If not, that's fine too. And also I have talked a little bit to Sleep Cycles, who's another YouTuber, who is actually, I shouldn't just say he's another YouTuber, he's probably my favorite YouTuber right now. He plays mainly indie games, and as you know, my channel is not only about cars, but well, mainly about car games and indie games. That's what my channel is mainly about. And while I do respect your support, and I appreciate highly your support on my you know, automation and car mechanic simulator series and just all the car games that I play, thanks a lot for watching all of those. But at the same time, I'd also love to you know, draw a little bit more attention to my indie game Let's Plays. And Sleep Cycles actually did mention that he you know, on his stream he said, "Oh, I know who you are. You play Action Hank, right?" And I said, "Yes." How do you know? And he said he saw the announcement for the Action Hank tournament on the Rage Squid Facebook page, and you know, my name was on there. And you know what? Maybe we can play some stuff together with him. That would be awesome. Like having an you know, how do you put this? Having someone you look up to, like him, is one thing. Then trying to get a conversation with him going is another thing, and like talking to him a little bit is another thing. But then actually making it work and cooperating and doing stuff together, just like you did imagine, that's gonna be like amazing. And for the same reason, I'd love to, you know, cooperate with other automation or just car related game content producers on YouTube. I'd love to cooperate some more with Conductor if he is interested in that. Like the problem with that is though that sure we could do some multiplayer racing in whatever racing game, but he doesn't own Project Cars, he doesn't own Grid Autosport, I don't have Assetto Corsa, I don't have Dirt Rally, so you know, it's kind of, we don't have, like there's no racing game that we both play, I think, and that might make things a little bit more difficult. And also automation doesn't include the multiplayer mode yet. I mean, it used to have one just for engine building, and it was a little bit, wait, what? Okay, but the wrong front exhaust section. And the multiplayer in automation was, shall we say, rudimentary. It was not very, like, it was a little bit of a, yeah, just not very enjoyable in my opinion, because you know, the only people who played that multiplayer were the ones who already had like thousands of hours into the game, and you would stand no chance. Even I wouldn't stand a chance in the engine building multiplayer, because there was guys who played basically like exclusively multiplayer, and they learned so much from that they could build the perfect engine for each and every single random scenario that the multiplayer made you, or the multiplayer mode generated. So yeah, that was the multiplayer in automation that used to be in there. There will probably be just something similar, but for entire cars later, and much more refined. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm also looking forward to the tycoon part of the game. You know, markets exist, brands exist, so you can finally brand your cars and say, you know, that is There's a car from my company. There's a car from, you know, if you made a replica, that is, for example, a Ford. That is a Mazda. That is a Mitsubishi. That is a Chevrolet. That is, you know, all the good stuff. You can now assign brands, which is awesome. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't sell the rims yet. I'm an idiot. So yeah, once the tycoon part is finally in, I shouldn't say finally. Once the tycoon part is in automation, I think that it'll get a lot more popular too, because that is like one of the huge elements of the game that is still missing. Basically the only huge component that's still missing, but it really is a huge thing. Like, implementing a tycoon part that simulates not only you know, hundreds of other cars that are available at each given moment on a market for every second, for every, not second, but segment of the market. That alone, building all of those cars for the market has to be just a staggering amount of work, considering that you have to not only build, you know, cars that are doing well on the market, you also have to build kind of shitty cars for the market, and then you have to do that for every single category of car. And that is just, I don't even want to think of how much work that would be. So yeah, that's gonna probably take a while until the tycoon part is finished. And also, you know, the tycoon part is not only the market that I just explained, also the tycoon part is kind of like random events happening throughout your career. For example, one time there's I don't know, for some reason there's no demand anymore for premium family car, because people are low on money and they only buy budget family cars or something like that. Random number generation will also be in there to some extent, and that makes it more challenging, more fun, but also, you know, more difficult to develop, more work intensive. So now we are basically done with almost the entire suspension already. And that is really good. Also, one of the next things, at least, on the list of development in automation, in case you didn't notice it, is V12s. V12s are gonna be so cool, and I've actually talked to a large extent about V12s in the last episode, which is why I'm not gonna repeat myself here. I just noticed that. But yeah, V12s are coming. Will be a great time, especially once turbos come out like that. That's gonna be absolutely insane what people are gonna do with those twin turbo V12s. I can already imagine. Maybe even myself. Maybe I'll go for like a 4,000 horsepower twin turbo V12 in a car with a huge engine bay. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it. I mean, I'll probably do it. Let's be honest. I know myself, and you know me too. At this point, I like going crazy from time to time. Oh wait, yeah, bought the wrong thing there as well. I didn't. Oh, I did assemble the gearbox already. I thought I'd forgotten about that, but I did not. So then we can put in the ignition coils and the fuel rail, and then the air intake, or the intake manifold rather, that's what it's called here, and then the throttle. For a long time I didn't actually know what throttle means in German, and I do now. And that's kind of, I'm feeling like maybe replacing the throttle on your engine will also make your car, will also make the engine more responsive. I gotta think that it does. So that would also be something to consider if I want to upgrade my car further. Still haven't gotten a reply from those dudes from the other tuner on the internet. So I'll just have to wait. Or maybe I just won't change the injectors for modified ones. Maybe I'll just put some stock ones in, which will probably also make the engine overall better, because the injectors are new and they're not, they're clean and everything. It's just they're not worn, unlike the ones that are in here. They're almost 20 years old at this point, so you gotta consider that. So we're gonna move this guy to a paint shop. Go for like a dark blue, less saturated, darker like that. Good. This guy's complete. Yep, okay. So we're gonna sell everything now. And also sell this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a like or a comment. And I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.